trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look. We're going to have Shane Smolian popping in here in a moment, but this is a chart we've been looking at for quite some time, saying that the target date of the high was supposed to be November 27th. Actually, the New York Stock Exchange Index topped on November 27th, and it's been down every day since that time. Not a good sign of strength. Of course, the NASDAQ keeps going up forever, but we're going to look at some things here. I did this report that I sent out the last Sunday, and basically I want to walk through you what I was looking at. I based everything on what was happening way back on March the 5th of 2007. There was a three drive to a bottom pattern. This was the 61% retracement on the Dow Jones at 6,600 going back to 1987. And there was the Bradley turn date. We've talked about the Bradley dot model. When it works nicely, it's great. When it doesn't, it's not so great. This one worked good. I said it was going to be a pretty strong rally, the best in 30 and 70 years, and of course I had no clue that it's still rallying. So we're going to be looking at some of these other pictures that we have in here. So if Shane gets in, I hope he'll pop up, but it's not all rosy, folks. You can see here the Russell is trading way below here now, folks. I mean, it's been hit really hard today. This was the high on the 25th of November. If we take a look at the next one, which is the Dow Jones E-mini. Let's get that up here. I got it here somewhere. He's in the house. Shane, how are you, my friend? Tell us what you're looking at, my friend. I know we're keeping an eye on some things, but basically what we're looking at is something here that could be quite exciting. Tell the folks what you're thinking.
Can you hear me okay, Larry?
Coming in perfectly. Wonderful. Billy Ray's in the house, so go ahead.
All right. Can you see the screen?
I think so. Yeah, we're in good shape.
Okay, so what I want to share with people today is actually some charts that I have. Now, it's very rare that we get a setup like this, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this today. We have multiple indicators here lining up to the downside, and we don't get this very often. And first of all, I want to just explain to the viewers what this chart is here. So one of the primary indicators that we track is the Fed juice, and so I put these on the chart with these different arrows. So the red arrow here is going to be the Fed juice here. That went into a sell on 12.6. Now the quad lunar cycle is the blue arrow here. You can see I also have it down here. That goes into a sell on 12.10. And today, the planetary speed index goes into a sell on 12.13. Now, this is really important because these indicators don't always line up like this. We're in a specific phase right now where the quad lunar and the planetary speed index are both lining up. This has been happening to the upside, to the downside. When you get this occurrence, you can see here, when you get this occurrence, when they line up, they tend to have better turning points here. So Fed juice is in the sell. This is our primary signal. This is still in a strong sell today. That gives us the tape. That's the price action that we follow based upon activities of the Federal Reserve and also the market. So this is our primary indicator. But the one thing, I want to point out is that both of these are lining up to the downside. So why is this important right now? Well, it's actually pretty important because we know that we have Mars going retrograde right now. Mars it's basically still stationary. It's going backwards, but very slowly. And so we also have Mercury. So we have the Mars retrograde going on now, and we have Mercury retrograde that's about to it's a retrograde. It's going to make a station on the 15th. So why do we care about this? Like, well, who cares? You know, the planets are going backwards or slowing down. The problem is that when you have planets moving very slowly like this, the markets are vulnerable to quick dislocations, okay? So what's going to happen on 12/15 is that you're going to have Mercury making this station. You're going to have this full moon coming in. Now, why is that important? Well, you also have Mars stationary and Mercury stationary. When you have a lot of planets that are moving slowly. You have the potential for dislocation, and you have all of these signals now lined up to the downside. Again, this does not happen very often. And I, like I say to you, I try to call balls and strikes on this, but this is not a good development for the S&P. So I would definitely urge people here to be careful. I want to share a chart here too. Now this kind of bothers me when I saw this. We were in this actually in a trade. The Russell had this was back on like the third or the fourth. The Russell had a mini flash crash that occurred at the open. It wasn't a big deal. It dropped about 20 or 30 points. But the fact that this is happening here, I think could be a warning sign that this happened. This dropped very, very quickly. I don't know if people even know that this happened, but this happened. This drop happened within seconds. And so, one of the things I try to tell people is a lot of people like to talk about the fact that they use quote unquote mental stops and they watch the market. But if you get a flash crash like this, if you get a situation where this market drops this much in a matter of seconds, you cannot react to this. I don't care how fast you are or how smooth you think you are. This can happen on a larger scale in the markets. And when we saw the flash crash back in 2010, we had a similar setup to what we're having now. We had the planets moving very slowly. Okay, so we have this setup going on here, and so I just wanted to let people know about this. Now, I've also taken a series of efficiency tests. So what efficiency tests are? They test what happens with the market around a specific transit, and I put them all in a spreadsheet here. And what I want to point out to people is, we're here on the spreadsheet up here, and these are all the different transits, and I have everything here from every transit. I have every station. I have Mercury retrograde, I have Mars retrograde, I have Neptune retrograde. What we're seeing here over the weekend, okay, so the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, you can see that we had a strong stretch of green into here. Okay, even when we had these little red patches into here, this is when the market fell, those few days that it fell. We are now moving into a phase here where there's more of these red patches coming up. Now, we have Venus square Uranus coming up later in the month, but it actually manifests itself this weekend. So this is actually, so we're coming up across this weekend. So tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, okay, we have to be very, very careful about these markets. And the fact that we have the price action or the tape of the market actually following this now, we're actually having some down moves in the market, and we're having all of these signals line up. We actually have our polar, our square today is lining up to the downside too. This is just a cause for concern, at least on the short term, that there is a possibility here for a strong sell-off to occur on this market, at least in the near term. Okay, so I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention that it's not very often that we get this type of a situation, but it's here. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that these things can happen, and these flash crashes can happen, and you cannot react to them. So if you're not going to, you need to take precaution and protect yourself, have stop orders in, because when this stuff happens, you can't react. You can't react, and I know it seems like it's kind of out of the blue here, but from what I'm seeing here, based off the price action, based upon all of these transits in the Fed use, there's a danger here.
Hey, thanks for joining. Stay tuned for the English version of that, folks. Hey, you're the best, my friend. Take it easy, buddy. I love you. Bye-bye.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, this is the Dow Jones Transportation. I'm bringing this to your attention because I was doing this report last Sunday, and I want to go through. I showed you the transportations. This is where we were. Here's where we are now. It's not a good sign. You had a 3 drive to a top pattern, okay? Remember, everything we based this on was that date coming in of November 27th. Now, the reason that's important is if you look at the New York Stock Exchange Index, there was the high, and it's been down every day since. Look at this. Look at the spread between the QQQ and the regular stock market. That's a huge variation. Usually it follows very closely with about 90% correlation. Certain times it doesn't. Let's go back and look at those times. First one was back at the dot-com bubble. Look at this wide divergence that's right here. You see that? There was a NASDAQ topping, and there was this. This topped up, and it's very, very important because what you're looking at right now is the divergence we're seeing right now is many, many, many times bigger than the one we saw in the dot-com bubble. And so you got the NASDAQ going straight up and this going straight down. So that's what we're watching these. We're going to look at a few as we go through. We've looked at many of them. I did tell you about the Dow Jones, so we've walked through that quite a bit. That's where we were. And, of course, we've been going down every day for the last 14 days, making new lows again today. That's influenced by the Russell also collapsing. I'll bring that live chart up a little bit later. I think this is the one I wanted to show. Yeah, this was the signal we got. There was a high on the 5th. There was a signal. Was your head and shoulders right here, making a 382 retracement, 4,900. You see this over 46.94. I saw a print here quite a bit lower here this morning, so I know we are below these levels right here. So we're going to find out what's going to happen here coming this week. Now, also remember, the main thing that I based this thing on was this long-term cycle program by Alfie Lavoie. These are all the cycles that he looks at. I only look at about 6 or 7 through Shane Smolian with the Bradley model, but this is all of them. You can see that it does pretty good job here. There's the COVID thing. I mean, this, said it was going to be a low. It doesn't give you the value, the volatility just tells you the low is supposed to come in. You can see it went straight up, then it came down, made a low right here. Remember our August 5th low? There it was right there was that August 5th low. There's the high we have coming in now. But look what he's showing for the next 3 years, folks. 25, 26, 27, 28. And on Monday of this week, The big Bloomberg and CNBC issued the reports of the top 10 investment banks giving their predictions of the S&P 500. It was 10 for 10. They were all looking for predictions between 6,300 on the low side and 7,100 on the high side. Now, I'm going against that because I'm looking at some things that give me a little bit of trepidation looking at some of these things. So I'm going to share some of them with you now. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Now, this has gone through here. We're way up here, folks. We are in the stratosphere. No question about it. If I have time today, which I will, I want to show you the action in the NASDAQ today because I thought it was quite interesting. We were doing a live show at that time, shorting the Dow Jones because it was dropping and dropping and dropping. And then I want to cover the fact that, look at this Apple. We're supposed to be here. Apple went to 249, folks. It dropped, went up another 5%. Tesla, it's out into the stratosphere, just like most of the others. So these are the main things that we're looking at. Now I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth. Here's where we are. I think this is where we are right now today. Well, we've been that way for other stocks a few, but there's today in the NASDAQ, in my opinion. And the reason why I think that is because of all the cycles that I look at, this is the one that scares me the most. This is 20 months up, 10 months up. The market went over 50% back in that until September the 3rd of 1929. We had 22 car companies at that time, folks. Market went down, had a little bit of a terracement. Took 26 years to take that out. But from this level right here, folks, Dow was at 42. It went 100 times higher, folks, to 42,000. 10 times. 10 times the low. If you bought it down here, you made 10 times your money. Okay, that's just what I've got to look at. Now let's take a quick look here. I sent this report out. Most people laughed at me. Fact is, when I sent it to Bloomberg and CNBC, they sent a ambulance. One of these ambulances were the straitjackets, both of them. The two ambulances came at different times. And I told them I was okay. I'd missent the report. I meant to say bullish. And they said, oh, well, if you're okay, then we'll leave you alone, which they did. So let's take a quick look at what we're looking here today. That's the Dow Jones Transportations. Now, here's where we are here. Having a nice little rally now in the YM. As you can see here, we're bouncing back a little bit from the early morning lows. And this is what we like to see. There's where we are today. Had the big ABCD. Our sell order, folks, today was right there. I'm not kidding you. The order was at 45.55, and the high was 45.52. We missed it. And then, of course, we had a nice rally here. Able to get into it right now. But the key thing that I'm watching here is right here. This is the this is the December S&P. Remember, we've moved over to the March. That's going to be switching now. The low that we made back here on the 10th, just a few days ago, was right there at 40, and right now we're trading at 47. You can see where we are right now. If we close below that low, I want to show it to you on a long-term pattern here. If we close below that low, that's going to be a weekly reversal up here, folks. And there's the 1.618 level. That would be a weekly reversal if we close below 60.40. We're at 60.48 now with 2 hours to go. So if we close below that, that will be a weekly reversal. Not a very good sign, in my opinion, of course. Now let's take a quick look. One that we watched real closely this morning because we were really heavily involved. Our first trade of the day, which was the main trade of the day, which was selling the NASDAQ. And believe it or not, how in the world could anybody in their right mind sell the NASDAQ? We were doing the March. So we'll get this up here and refresh today because it's not caught up with it. I've got to refresh everything. Refresh maximum there. It'll get me to where we are. Okay, there's where we were, and here's the pattern we were looking at. This was a daily pattern, and we were sitting right here watching this pattern go up. All right. Now, what we did is we were looking to sell this pattern right here at this level here. 222.22, folks. We got to 221.91, and I was selling at 222 because the Gartley 222. We missed it by 10 points, and as you can see, it's 100 handles below it right now. Multiple ABCDs coming up in this level, and we'll see if it means anything or not. We missed this one by just a heartbeat. But let me show you a trade that I think is got. there's nothing 100% in this business, but this is going to be the closest I've ever seen. And I don't trade stocks at all. This is Avco, Broadcom. We're going to bring this up here. I want to make sure I got the right time scale on it. That's the daily. I want to go to that smaller time frame because that's what I was looking at. That's what I wanted to see. And it's not right what I thought I was going to do. Let's go down to the 2 minute. That's what we were doing. There it is right here. Here's Avco. We were watching it this morning. Okay, this is where we were. Has huge volume today, folks. The volume on Avco is into the stratosphere, which is what you'd like to see. Well, you don't show it on this because the volume thing doesn't work very well. But well, this is not going to come out the way I wanted it. Let me do this and get rid of this stuff. There we go. And we'll try to blow it up, and I'll show you. But anyway, if Avco would close below 211, it's 217 right now. That would be set up for an island reversal. Everybody that's bought this stuff this morning is underwater. What am I talking about? Let's get out of here.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I want to give an update here. The other day we were buying meal right here at 293, and we went up to almost 300, hit 299. That's a $600 gain, but it didn't go higher, so we put our stop at break even. So we just got out of the meal at break even. So if you're in that trade, get out of it. It's a Friday. It's not working right. The risk now is a possible gap down, and it's just not worth it. I said that in the video that I sent out early this morning, so that's an important thing to look at. All right, one other trade that we were watching today, this was the Japanese yen, looking at just a smaller time frame, because remember, only trading for 3 hours. Here's where we came on the air, and it said that we're probably going to have a pretty good move up right in the middle of the morning, right at 10:30. You'll see you made the beautiful ABCD Gartley. Didn't draw it right, but we're going to try it anyway. Let's try it one more time, and we'll see if we can get this right. There's your ABCD pattern coming in right there, and then, of course, has a nice run. Now we're starting to come back. If we look at this on a longer-term basis, this is really important. You see we got this big ABCD here over the last few days. This is really important, because if you go back and look at this on the 4-hour chart, this is important for everything in the economy, folks. This wasn't even the big high. Go back to the big high, which was right back there at 156. Yeah, there it is. Well, this was, 156. And now you've come down, and look, there was your beautiful 3 drive to a bottom pattern. And then boom, and here's where we are now. We're coming into some major stuff, especially when you look at this number right here, which is your 1.618. We've been rallying now for 6.5 weeks, 5. For 3.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So that's probably all we get. If we look at this on the long-term daily, is what I wanted to show you. You can see this was the big high at 160, okay, 161. You come down, you make a 3 drive, you rally up to almost a 786. You come down to the 382 retracement, and now you're bouncing right up in here. This is exactly what gold did the other day, folks. Do you remember the silver trade that we spent day after day talking about it, waiting for it? Let's get that up here. I didn't even know what silver did today, folks. I really didn't. So let's just get up here, and we'll bring it up here. Get the daily up. You'll be able to see it. We'll go through it again. There it is. Oh, it's still going down. There's the head and shoulders pattern that we talked about many times. There it is right there. You can see there's your left shoulder. Your right shoulder went 1 penny above it, folks. We sold it at 33.13. Our stop was 33.33, risking 20 cents. And now it's $1.50. Oh my gosh, it's even far. Whoa. That's $2 lower. That's a $10,000 move, folks, in 2 days. Are you kidding me? Wow, I didn't even notice that today. Thank goodness. I would have probably done something silly. Anyway, we'll see where we are right now in the silver. We're coming into some pretty strong support, because what we're looking at here is we're going to be looking at multiple numbers here from your high to your low. You can see we're trading right at the 61% retracement of that low. And we're right at the 78% level of this last low. Hit it exactly right on the money here today at 30.70, and we've rallied about 40 cents. So that should be a little bit of a bounce. If we take a look at the other precious metal that we sometimes look at, which is gold, we'll get it up here and put it up here on the 4-hour also, because these swings that we're having are nothing less than spectacular. You can see there's where the sell order came in, right at that level up here, 277. It missed it by a little bit. And of course, we went down to the hourly chart. We had some incredible places to sell it. The first one was your 382 retracement here. This one wasn't a 382, but it was a beautiful ABC that took. It took 7 hours to complete that, folks. I just have to show it to you, because it took 10 hours. It took 10 hours to complete it. That's an A, B, C, D pattern. That's exactly what that was. And we were doing it, as I recall, on the video, saying get ready to sell it right up in that area. And there it was, and down it's come. And if you missed it, let's say you missed it all day today, there was your high today, 2-hour rally. Let's see, just for kicks and giggles, if it made a 382 off of the high of the day from yesterday. So you come down and you put your little thing on right there, and look at that, folks. To the tick, it's not a trick. And for 269, that's $20 or 2,000 simoleons, as they used to say in Terre Haute, Indiana. So sometimes these patterns work, sometimes they don't, but that's what trading is all about. I haven't really looked at the AI program with gold today, but let's just go to the 2-minute chart and see if it was giving us indication. This was London. See, it was supposed to be up in London. Let's see what it did for the U.S. We'll come up, get rid of this, click this over. We're going to go over and take a look. I can do two continents, folks. Don't do Asia. Let the people over there sleep. So this is our prediction here for gold today. And as you can see, it's done pretty good. There was the high coming in. There was your low. You had a nice rally. Let's see what that rally was. See if it was 382 just for kicks and giggles here. And there was the rally right there at 81, and now it's 75, and it's still going down. Now, it should start rallying, but if it doesn't, remember, this is when the market can invert and go the other way, and you don't want to mess with that. That's something that you really don't want to mess with. Again, that is my opinion, okay? Now, we've had a question about a couple of your favorite stocks. I'm going to cover them right now because they're in an area that goes off the top of my poor little laptop here, but we're going to see where they are right now. First, we'll look at Mr. Appel, who's down by the well. And we'll see here, we've got, it's actually down on the day. Oh, that can't possibly, no, it's not. This is a 4-hour chart. Oh, it is down on the day because yesterday's high was 11th. This is the 13th. Friday the 13th, Treskai decaphobia. My gosh, the fear of the number 13. That's the number of the, when the end of the Knights Templars back in 1207. That's when I was getting out of the 3rd grade for the 4th time. Here's where we are. Now, this is a big run. Folks, this has gone through any ABCD that I could find. You can see there was it ended right here. It went even higher than that. This is the most widely held stock in the world. So they all went crazy, but none other than Mr. Tesla, our $400 billion man. And good thing Eli and I are such good friends, because if I ever get into a dark space, he's always got my back. And here's where we go here. Well, it's up today. It made a new high. Let's do this. Hit the refresh button and update it here. I've got to check the defaults. Sorry, folks. Just give me a second here. Get to a regular one. There's where we are here. As you can see, we've gone up and up and up. I haven't drawn all these in because, you couldn't get anybody to buy the thing here at 210. Now it's at 428 and the whole world wants it. I mean, there's got to be something to this. Now, you can see all of these ABCDs that we have in here. I'm going to draw them in because when you get something that goes straight up like this, unless you're nuts, you don't want to try to sell it. But it's supposed to go to 433, but it only got to 431.60 so far today. So we're going to take a little break here. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude. And if you'll wait another 4 minutes, we've got some things to talk about with foreign currency.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, this is the E-mini S&P. This is still the December because this will be the last day I run December. I'll start running March on Monday. But you can see here we've had the bottoms here. If I shift this over just a little bit, which is not fair to do that, but you'll see that it does do a pretty good job of getting the lows. So this tells us we should be going. The problem is this is the time where it's the least accurate because we've gone through 222 bars since it started running, and this is when it loses its validity. For the first 4 or 5 hours of the day of the 6 that are traded, it does pretty good. It's these last 2 hours. Sometimes it's perfect, but odds, what they say, chance favors the prepared mind. This is where we go below this, folks. Boy. And we close below this, that's not going to be a very good sign. All right, let's get on to something we've been bullish on for quite a while. Most people didn't believe it, but here's where we are. Oh, I wanted to show you one other thing with that S&P. Look at this. There was your first 382 retracement was right there, and there was your second retracement right there. So, and now we've got a new one because we've got a lower high from right back here, and you draw that in, and so far, watch that. That could be some really interesting spots right here, up about another 4 points here in the S&P. But now switch over to where the big dogs play, and that's going over to the far, far east to take a look at crude oil. And as you can see, this has been very, very bullish. I have to bring it to your attention today. There was the low yesterday. Now we did this yesterday on the same show, showing you that after the run up, where did it stop? Exactly at the 382. And what do we say to folks when you're looking at this? If it's going to go to the 382 one time in strong markets, it's going to do the same thing in the next market. So what do we do? There's yesterday, here's today action. All you have to do, and we did this on the air today in the trading room. There was the low right here. We had the rally up to this level right here, and you're going to watch, see how close we came to hitting the exact 382. And you see it stayed here for 2 hours right there at 77. It's now up $1,200. Your risk on this would have been about 300. 4 to 1, that's not too bad. And we're closing strong on a Friday. And if you look at this now on the daily chart, it's not going to look nearly as bad as it did way back here. There's what we were watching. See how it started to turn? It didn't make the ABCD. It didn't make the 3 drives, but it did start to turn. And the key to that was watching the 382s. They don't work all the time, but show me something that does, and I'll show you something that is probably not correct. Now, here's one that I liked, but I decided to hold off on it, and this is the wheat. I'm very bullish wheat long term. Now, here's where we are. As we looked at that, we had the 3-drive pattern here on the 4th. We had the nice run up. There was your first 382 retracement here. It rallied about $700. It came back and tested it again, and then we came up, and then once we broke that today, that said that you're probably getting ready to move lower. But the first tip for that was right here. Now remember, this is an hourly chart on wheat, which is one of the most actively traded things in the world. This, my friends, as we all know, is not a head and shoulders pattern. It is a 1, 3, 5 pattern. So let's check the ratios. From your high down to your low, it comes in at, what was the high today? Right there at 560. Unfortunately, that was before the show started, and then boom, down she came. And what was this one right here? This was exactly 61%, right on the money. So what do you have? You have a 135 pattern from the gifts of Mr. Roy and his son Bill Longstreet. Leroy is one of the greatest soybean traders of all time. Fortunate enough to mentor under him many years ago. You can see from the high. Shucks, I got the wrong tool in there. We're going to go from high to high. There's the high down to our 618. We want it to come in at a time where it's real close. I guess that's close enough today. So you basically look at a beautiful 135 pattern in a downtrend. If you like to trade with the trend, this would be the one for you. And if you like 382, this would even be a better one for you right there. Unfortunately, the show started right here, and we didn't get short, and it kept dropping. But we cover these in the videos that we send out each day. Now, I've been asked to talk about one other stock here. If I can just find it, J.P. Morgan. Where are you, J.P.? There it is, right there. Get old J.P. Morgan on the line here, because it is also moving into a, there we go. I said it's turned bearish. This is a 4-hour chart. Move this over. We had this big run up here. Now, almost everybody that bought it election night is underwater, unless you got lucky and bought it here. Well, it actually pulled off the night after the election, so that had been the buy. But most of these people, you know, on the 8th, everybody that bought it on the 8th is basically dead even right now. Okay, so that's not necessarily a good thing, is it? But let's look at this really closely, because it's got a pattern here that we like to look at all the time. This is from my friend over in Sweden or London, wherever he happens to be right now. But if we take a look at this, we're just going to draw the lines and show. Oh, I got to draw the line in first, Larry. You got to get the right drawing tool. And this is it right here. We go from this high right here. We're going to go all the way across to that high right there. And as you can see, yeah, there it is right there. This high and this high are equal. So what is that? And this high does too. So you've got a double. Well, actually, there's your left shoulder. There's your head. There's your right shoulder. And let's see if the right shoulder came in at a nice retracement. And if you measured it down to there, right at the exact 50%, and it's already down $8. J.P. Morgan's heading lower. If J.P. Morgan gaps really sharply on Monday, it will also leave a gap, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. Now let's look at this on a little bit deeper level, because we want to see that time is not perfect, but it's pretty close. Let's just draw it in, high to high to high. Well, it's off by a day. Should have been here. This was the 10th. This is the 11th, so it's off. But the ratios are just lined up perfectly. And as long as it doesn't get above here, you're going to be okay. That tells us that you're heading down. And that's really what we're watching here as we're watching this one unfold. It happens to be one of the Dow stocks and probably the best managed bank probably in the world, but definitely in the United States that I know of. Of course, I use the West Bank of the Pecos, and they're in the lower 30th of the percentile. All right, let's see. We had one other question about Microsoft. No, it was not Microsoft. It was this one right here. I'm really bearish. This one right here. This is Saylor's company, Michael Saylor's. You can see here, We've been in a down. This is the Bitcoin ETF that he has, and you can see it's been in a downtrend. We did have a beautiful Gartley up here, right there. That was up at 45. We've had another one right now. You can see on the rally back so far, it's done. Let's refresh this just to be safe. Yeah, there it is right there. The market came down and it rallied up on this last rally. It rallied up to the 61% retracement, and it's still moving lower. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to wrap this up. No matter what happens, live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. We got 2 more minutes to go, so please stay with us.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no cash or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, here's the NASDAQ. Nothing bearish about this at all, folks. As you can see here, there was a low of the 10th. Here we are on the 13th. The high, when you make a new high, you have to go up, which we've done. As you can see, you come down right to the 382 retracement within 10 points. You can see we're 10 points lower. Now we're rallying pretty strongly to the upside. These people that trade algorithmic trading, folks, they know these numbers like ice cold. There was a 382 of the day before. I asked you folks to look at it yesterday. There it was yesterday. Went a little bit below and then boom, back up. Now what we're doing here, let's just get this on a mini chart and see where we are here with this. We'll just get the 3-minute up, and we'll see if we're making, yes, we're making a little bit of an ABCD pattern here. Let's see how, well, we're already above the 382, I can tell you that. Oh, just by a little, but there's where we are right now. There's the ABCD 380, so it's still bullish. It's still going higher, but it's going to be interesting as a close. That's what's so important, because if that S&P in the December closes below 60.40, it's 14 points away, that will not be a very good sign, because that'd be a weekly reversal. No matter where this closes, it's not going to be a weekly reversal. It's just only the S&P. The Dow is rallying a little bit, but it's in bad shape anyway, so we got to do one at a time as we do this. I'd like for you to do me a favor, say some prayers for my good friend Peter Leides. Peter's fighting the big C. I really think he's going to beat it, but rosary here, rosary there, all adds up, or your prayer mat, whatever you want to do. Say prayer for Peter Leides of Stock Market Cycles and anybody else that's having a little trouble. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless, and we'll see you on the flip side on Monday, God willing, and God bless.